And co-accused Trifecta CEO Christo Scholtz return to the Kimberley High Court today. The NPA is hoping that sentencing in the corruption and money laundering case will be concluded by Friday. The state wants a jail sentence for the two. Block and Scholtz were found guilty in October last year on money laundering and corruption charges. It relates to government tenders of buildings owned by the Trifecta Group. Well, our reporter Reginald Witbooi, who's been covering this story for us, joins us now live. Reginald, good afternoon to you. This case was put on the roll in 2012. It's been a seriously prolonged episode. Could there be any more delays? Just tell us a bit about it.
Well, good afternoon to you, Natasha. Well, certainly so, because if I can tell you what transpired in court earlier on is that the state in the case actually reached consensus now that the Trifecta director, Christo Scholtz, and his company should surrender 60 million rand. We know that the asset forfeiture unit is after his assets and also after former ANC chair John Block's assets. We remember that in the past a draft order was issued that 580 million rand from the Trifecta company and 2.7 million rand from former ANC chair John Block should be surrendered, or rather to determine the value of that. What is basically going to happen over the next 3 days here in the Kimberley High Court is for the AFU and the defence to come to an agreement as to determine the value of the assets that should be recouped. And only after that the Kimberley High Court can then make provisions or go over to sentencing. But we remember that the case is coming on since 2012 now. The accused also, in a dramatic turn, they asked for the judge to step down as what they believed that the judge would have been biased. But ultimately last year she found them guilty on fraud and money laundering, saying that Block used his political influence in the lease of the tenders and that he also received kickbacks. The case might be far from over, because if sentencing is going to be handed down, Block and Christo Scholtz can then decide to go to the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. If they are not successful there, then they can move over to the Constitutional Court. So it all depends as to where the court will take this matter. Yesterday we spoke to the National Prosecuting Authority's Paladi Shuping, and he made it clear that they want a jail sentence for the two, because they say that will be in accordance to the law, and it makes a minimum prescription in the book of law for the crimes that they've actually committed. But it all depends on where Judge Matebe Patsuwane or how will she rule the day when sentencing will be happening here in the Kimberley High Court.
All right, Reginald, thank you very much for that. Still quite a long way to go, it seems, in that case. Reginald Witbooi, live from Kimberley.